Alright, so, I guess that's good enough leeway time. Hey, howdy everyone, Genocider here again, for more, Danganronpa, as it were. I do want to mention I am using a different mic method in comparison, so if it's a little shittier or a little better, I don't know personally, then, you know, I hope it works out. That's all I gotta say. I really do. I'll be double checking the stream obviously to see if it's well in my measure, but for now, this is the best I could give it for what it was. Hoping I just don't break that audio. God dang it, dude! It annoys me so much. But that's enough of my little flipples and whatnot. We're on the actual trial here, so I just wanted to like make a quick little note before that. So yeah, let's get ready for pre-trial prep. Alright, so we gotta open our e-handbook, don't we need that. But we do have skills, like, that's it. That's all we have for skills. We have all this SP and no skills. I was given no skills still. Cool, awesome. I'm coughing still. That's still a thing. You can't have LP of any kind without coughing, right? We don't need to open the e-handbook. I know who actually did the thing. I watched the anime. This I feel like the anime did a good job on this trial, in all honesty. I don't think a lot of people started agreeing, because like, I think a lot of people straight up did not like the anime at this current point when they got to chapter 2. Like it was moving too fast or something, I don't know. I don't know offhand what they thought, but I thought it was fine, honestly. I do wish that, the anime wasn't so, like, expedient later on down the road, because it definitely, after this, I will say that the anime kind of, like, went way too fast. But for what happened towards chapter 2 and so on and so forth, I would not say that. I would say it did a pretty nice job for that. So, for now, like, we're still at the parts of what I like about Danganronpa, and then, you know, we'll get there eventually, folks, but you know, we're at the trial, so let's go and do the trial bit. Oh my god, Machitero Tower anime, yeah. Anime indeed. Alright, we're done with preparations, we got no skills.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First we got to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. I mean, that was pretty easy. That was the first thing that I figured out. Like, for realsies. It's like, it was like the first thing that, like, poked itself. Alright, come on. This ain't too hard.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
Oh, come on!
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
So I have to go
Poor
back.
Chihiro.
I have to actually... Alright, well, it's fine. Yeah, I know! It wasn't fast enough.
Chihiro's
God dang it.
fatal injury.
Stupid
It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
Like, he just randomly guessed. Like, what was that? What was that
Can we
idea?
agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
And that's how you also do an investigation, buddy.
If you don't mind. I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Once more with feeling, please. Like, what's with this guy's, like, dry attitude? Why is he a walrus? Which guy's a walrus? Are we talking about the dude with big hair or this guy? Because honestly, they both look like walruses to me. I'm not gonna lie. Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. I mean, yeah, if you like cereal. Did he really kill Chiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Every time with this. For this debate, lines of white noises will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. Oh, come on. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the X button to attach the silencer, which can be used to shut down the white noise. Honestly, I just feel like there's just like, too much going on with here. The one that is a walrus. Okay, I guess. Exclamation. Okay, Master Terror Towers. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. So take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Okay. Oh, but your action difficulty is set to gentle. White noise won't appear at all. Oh, thank God. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on your situation in front of you. Thank you, please. Don't need any more of this just random foolishness. So that was just meaningless. It's just like for later on down the road. Okay. Alright, the Genocide Jack file. That guy's in a constant state of panic. Okay.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so
now, come
speaking
on.
of Genocide Jack,
God dang it.
I don't know who that is.
I'm too slow. God dang it. I disappoint Sonic all the time, don't I? Oh, hey, so I'm coughing more on this stream.
The culprit is Genocide
that's
Jack.
Awesome.
I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is.
So I'm starting to understand what white noise is. Okay. Yeah, I know
The
what
culprit
to shoot
is
at.
Genocide
it's literally
Jack.
just getting
I'm
it.
sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
There we go. Good show. Finally.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kinda weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Beg pardon?
No. It's actually bloodlust.
I like his version better, okay, Donut?
But more important is the other characteristic. And it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Other characteristic of Genocide Jack's case, which the world at large doesn't know. I'm not mistaken, has to do with the position of the body. Where the murder... No, obviously it's how the victim was...
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way.
Just like Jesus.
How did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
I mean, could be a copycat.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Does Genocide Jack only attack lollies? I mean, like, maybe, kinda?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Taco?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What?
Man, he just, like, pinned her instantly.
Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I can understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gavin. Okay. I honestly forgot a lot of these things. What? Oh, come on. I legitimately forgot what to be doing here. Like, what do you want me to do? I don't remember, game. I don't remember any of these, like, half-ass games that you had here. Honestly, I legitimately forgot half these games. Apparently I failed it. Whatever. Yeah, I get it. Oh my god, dude. Can we retry at the same point, or do we have to, like, rewatch the whole thing? I don't know how Makoto...
Is this...
Yeah, obviously, just give it another
I
shot.
refuse to give up yet!
I gotta say that I'm not liking the fact these trials, they just, like, have a lot of different weird mini games to them that just, like, I don't remember. Like, can't it just be more like Ace Attorney? I remember Ace Attorney stuff. God dang, dude. I know we're trying to, like, spell, like, schizophrenia or some jazz like that, but I don't remember how to spell it. 6 letters left. 4 letters left. What was I supposed to spell? Like, what am I actually supposed to be spelling here? I don't remember. Am I supposed to be getting all of them at once? I don't know. Okay, so I had to, like, spell, like, hit it 3 times. Okay. So it ain't that. Did I get to see it? I don't think I did. Oh my god. Alright, I really don't know how to spell this name. I want to say it has a Z in it, but I don't think it does. Schizophrenia? I feel like it has another C. And I guess? Okay, fine, jeez, calm down. It can't have a B, can it? Schizo. Come on. Okay, I feel
Now
like
I
that's
understand.
slightly offensive? Because that's like schizo, right?
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior. She fainted. She arrived late. I think she faded, honestly. But her behavior did change.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, I'm fine. Wow, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom. I see a truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack to have control. I'll drive out the killer. To drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
She's such a nice person. She prevented murders there, Mr. Bakugan.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
I mean, that's what British people do, right? Like, was I not, was that not a thing or something, or what?
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep my promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
Oh my god. Is this for realsies? Does Mr. Bakugan have a heart?
That's the only reason I promised!
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I mean, there is no other greater high. At least from what I'm told. Then again, I've been watching a lot more Dexter lately, so maybe that's what it was.
I tried! I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom. But in that next second... Oh my god, it's your girl! I mean, boy.
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide... They had to change it to Genocide Jill? Why not keep it Genocide Jack? I'm just saying. Like... Come on, they already have the name.
Yes! What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
I just feel like Genocide Jack would have been better. It rolls off the tongue more, you know?
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko! That's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality! So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body!
What? Who says that?
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie.
Oh, hey! Callback. That's honestly good for you, Genocide.
Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend? Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane. I mean, yeah, Makoto, that's you know what?
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds!
I knew it!
Just kidding!
Oh.
Then, it's not true?
You know, I'm liking her. She's just got a nice personality about her, in all honesty. Very, very personable. Unlike Toko. She's really, like, weird to say, right? A silly killer is more than a socially awkward girl? Okay.
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
God! Oh, I'm sorry about the coughing, fellas. Like,
There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined.
I mean, isn't it already, considering that she had a silly killer inside of her? I mean, I would feel like that would impede on your daily life no matter what.
So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah! I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all of this. Alright, time to make our argument again. Status of the dead body. Alright, cool.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong!
Oh, come on, no whammo.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocider Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
I gotta say, like, admittedly enough, I really like her. Like, I'm getting a kick out of her, so I just gotta say that right now.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocider Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocider Jack cases, look at the neck and the stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference. No, the victim's fatal injury.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocider Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
Excuse me.
And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocider Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here we'll see a clear difference. When she was suspended, what was used to suspend her.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocider Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
I'm gonna call him Big Mac from now on.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocider Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Well, there's that answers Mashed Potato Tower's question right there. she don't like to do that. Let's see. There's a pattern surrounding the Genocider Jack case victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figure it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chiro. Was her lover, was her friend.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Oh my god, all these names. I'm not reading through these names. They're just guy names, essentially. That's all I need to put.
They were all guys?
And Japanese. Don't forget that, buddy.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
Oh my god.
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
I love the explanation here, because it's just like, oh my god. Oh my god. It's so much better. Oh my god.
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
I mean, they could, though. Just saying.
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival.
I mean, yeah, this is the serial killer we're talking about. They really wouldn't.
And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who copied Genocide Jack case. It has to be Bakugan, honestly. It has to be. I'm sorry, but you kind of made this on yourself.
Here's my answer.
We gotta put you on the spotlight
Byakuya,
right here.
It's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
She called him adorable.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Do you agree? Suspicious. It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I mean, like, wouldn't every guy? Wouldn't every person want to go in the girls' locker room? I'm just saying. Like, that's natural, Mr. Big Mac.
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Bakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Oh my... They keep adding stuff like it's fine. And they just keep adding more things. Next we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the triangle button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth bullet though. However, you can use this flashback and feature as many times as you want. Okay. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. Okay. What's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keywords when you're... Okay. In this case, though, I would say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be repeating anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. Like always. Okay.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it!
See,
that's a natural reaction for any guy!
See, there you go.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
What? You think there's a mistake lurking in what I said?
Shoot!
No, what the... There was a freaking triangle thing!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird.
Alright, you know what? We're gonna have to look now, because there's so many bloody controls for this bloody thing. Silencer, fast forward argument, fire, truth bullet, flashback. What the... Then how do I get a flashback itself? Fire, truth bullet, a flash... This game, I swear. Because it keeps introducing new and new elements. It's just like... It just needs to be simple, honestly. It just needs to be a bit more simpler for this.
Before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
that's a natural reaction!
The victim was Chihiro, who was... So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So how do I get a flashback going? I realize there's a clear contradiction there. Because it doesn't make sense how he could have known before we even found out. Yeah, I'm trying
so,
to,
you
but
said Byakuya
it's
was
mainly because I don't know what else. There's just so many things that are just here and there.
Acting kind of weird before we found the body.
I mean, I only have one.
But he was acting weird.
Can I go back somehow?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out,
that's a natural.
The victim. What? So of course I was. There was no time. What's so strange?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Get her thing. Okay, so I guess.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Don't scare.
Shoot!
What if they're in the area? That's what I want to know. Freaking tell me.
So,
Game,
you said Byakuya was
please,
acting kind of weird before we found the body.
No, don't just... Oh my god.
Shoot!
Well, there's that crap. Okay.
So, you said Byakuya...
Alright, cool. So triangle is to load it. Time of death is estimated to the body of the... was discovered in the girls' locker room, the second floor of the school. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. Okay, sure, okay.
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls...
Like, legitimately... I'm just kind of confused about what the heck it wants me to do now. Firing truth... loading truth bullets, okay. There was some truth... If you target a weak spot and then hold down the triangle button, you can use that weak point as a temporary truth bullet later in the argument. What? And then hold down the triangle button. So I gotta hold down the triangle button.
Locker room. Okay. You absolutely take it.
Okay.
That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim so of course I would. There was no time. What's so strange?
So I have to hold. I have to hold the triangle button. I have to hold it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
Okay.
The victim was Chihiro, who...
No, that's wrong!
I did it this time, hooray! I didn't lose!
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Bakuga's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. Got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocider Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and other Genocider Jack murders. The evidence that proves Bakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be? Library desk lamp. Oh no!
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Oh, you dastard!
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
They did it just because, like, oh my god. Yeah, I know exactly where to shoot it. It's just, come on, please.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong!
Gotcha. The greatest bastard.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time? went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he is not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. Was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room. But does that mean... Can I really just accept that Byakuya said that as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. The scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did you just... Did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who's been so confident up until now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker room. It was, what calls? Yeah, those two.
I got it!
Yeah.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is... the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
Ooh!
The poster in the girls' locker room was... a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
I honestly don't, but, you know, then again, I'm gay, so...
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet.
Poor, predictably clumsy Sakura. Always spilling coffee everywhere. That's what she does.
But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. Ooh.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Alright, another argument time. Broken e-handbook. Oh no!
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had
come on.
that, she could get into the
God
boys'
dang it.
locker room no problem.
Okay,
Is it really possible?
Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have.
No, I don't think that's
there
it.
you go, it's this one right
She
here.
used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
there we go, got him.
No, that's wrong!
You!
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
He does, huh? That guy really does give up. He has like a carefree attitude about this whole entire thing, in all honesty. It's really weird.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and.
Bzzzt! You can't fix an e-handbook! The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring!
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya!
Is this it then? Chiro was killed in a girl's locker room and Bakuya is the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I could do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
I like how she's just like, guess what? I've been withholding information.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, Why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Oh no!
For real? Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We hit it off with Kaiko in the lead. And where she took us was... Here we are again.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
Oh my god.
No way!
This dude's into necrophilia, man.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Woo!
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
Oh my god, Sakura touched the thing, didn't they?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her mass frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Yep, if you like Chihiro, you're gay. No matter what. It's the law, people.
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was... a guy?
Oh, what, you guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, now I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
Kyoko just wanted someone to touch the pee-pee. As far as I'm concerned, that was really the deal that was going on here. Just wanted to see some necrophilia action.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy? The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Will be sex, but...
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Thanks, buddy, I guess.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe!
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Honestly, he probably is kind of an ant.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Goodbye. Bakuya didn't do it. And who's the real killer? Who murdered Chiro? There's one thing that we could be sure we know about the killer. The killer was able to access to the real murder scene, which means...
I got it!
So the crime scene was the boys' locker room. You would have to need a boy's handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But there's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Also, a Celeste account. So we're going with this one first.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Oh, cool, thank goodness.
No, that's wrong.
Woo. That was closing in. Woo.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
I keep coughing. It's horrible.
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. Alright, so we got more going on here. Celeste's account again? Really? Okay.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
What?
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
Well, I mean, like,
I have a
legit.
white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Oh my god.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
Yes, it did! Like, legit! There's no one paying
You heard
attention!
him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Yeah, I totally did hear him.
First of
It's
all,
just more
we
so the
know where
fact,
Chihiro was headed.
He was
Like,
on his way
which-
to... So next week, why did he choose the specific...
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
What?
Shoot!
Oh, come on! That was something close to it! God dang
First
it,
of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
Alright.
He was on his way to go exercise.
Well, what is, we have to read his thing. Was told, anyone willing to listen, Jacob Meyer, was Celeste's account. It seems, she was, stuffing some blue exercise, clothes into the whole bag.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong.
Alright, so I guess that's all we had to do. I mean, I think my way would have been
Hold
better,
on a second,
honestly.
Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing track jackets into the duffel bag. But then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color.
She never did.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
She called him Cherry.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
I mean, it's a pretty good pet name, honestly, don't it?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
She stuffed the jacket into the bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And it just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked, the way he acted. Because I hate him. Oh my god. The way he was acting, honestly.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Poor Mondo, I actually feel bad for him. Like, what's gonna be coming up and such, but...
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Wait, he has a ghost friend now?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to... Yeah, it's... either Chihiro's or Mondo's.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How, precisely, did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks break? There's only one possible explanation. By hitting its
I
weak
got
point.
it!
It has a weak point.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, 'cause I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
That is a very odd, just random lesson. But, it makes sense. Also kind of happens in jacuzzis.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
What a dum-dum. He's keeping on the bright side. You know what? You do you, Ishimura.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? Had to be one who wore all their clothes in the sauna. It was... Yeah, it was Mondo, obviously.
Here's my answer.
Mondo wore everything.
Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Isn't it like Mondo's account? Because like Mondo even says, right? Broken Chihiro's handbook, card reader.
Let's...
Alright, I need to actually look at all those things that it's telling me. It's like, it gave me like a bunch of like things at once. Alright, Chihiro's handbook was not found on her corpse and was apparently gone missing. We already got that in order. What was the other ones that I had? Broken E-handbook? I think that was the same one in card reader. To unlock a locker room, you need to swipe your E-handbook over your card reader. You need a male student's handbook for the boys' locker room and a female student's for girls. It's not possible for two to enter it at the same time. So, what leads me to believe is, like, since his handbook was broken, it kind of like, how would he be able to get in? Did he fix it? Additionally, leading someone your handbook. Yeah, all that research.
Test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during their Sauna showdown. If I could just prove that, then it would show that the handbook Mondo must actually be...
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Okay.
If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Oh my god! So he just like brought in Chihiro's thing? Oh,
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Whatchamacallit?
If what he says is correct, then
Wouldn't that
Mondo,
just mean that's
you
that?
broke your own handbook.
The card reader itself is broken?
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all!
Ah, dang it. Yeah,
Shoot!
That did not. God dang it.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Broken e-handbook.
If what he says is
Chihiro's
correct,
handbook.
then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook
I do
is
believe
actually
it
broken,
is on Mr.
then
Loudmouth.
that proves that what
man.
Makoto
Mr.
said is
Woolman.
right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all!
What? Not that either? Okay, so that one doesn't work either.
Shoot!
Great, awesome.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
I do
If
not
what
like...
he says is correct,
I just don't like these sets right here, because, like, legit, they're already close together, and it's, like, kind of, like, doesn't really work out so well. Because they're all kind of the same, and they get also not fair.
then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
Oh, come on!
See? Look!
God dang it.
Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Oh, this is getting annoying, just, like, trying to, like, go after this one. Because, like, it's, like, all at the end, so it's gonna drain your time no matter what.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then
you broke your own. In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong!
Alright, cool, so it was just that. I was just being dumb. Okay.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake.
Son of a bitch!
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Oh, so we're gonna do this little cool little thing. I do like this thing. It's pretty cool. Oh my god! They're so happy all the time. Okay, so... where would it be? Here, I guess? No. So it'd be over here? God dang it, I hate, like, the first one. No, we'll figure that out later. Oh my god. In there. And then it's the boy one. Now we gotta put it in, right here. Little swirly things and whatnot. God. Oh, it would actually be that one, and then the little end thing. And look how happy they are. They're so happy to see him. Let's see here. Let's put the big ol'. Like that, just like got to business, honestly. Like straight up, just got to business. My goodness gracious. Yeah, like right there, and then there's that. And then I kind of realize, and they're like, oh, well, maybe not. So they're rolling it up. What else would happen here? Maybe taking that, and then... god dang it, dude. It's just like all these little things here that just kind of like are bleh, you know? What I'm saying? Oh my god, dude. There's just so many other things in particular here that's just like all at once. Like, please stop. Alright, so... I like how Bakuya just like looks all evil. Like, what. Okay, and where's this little bit right here? Well, he's placing the poster up somewhere. What is this thing? What exactly is this supposed to be? And what's with the twirly about thing? Oh my god, dude. Like, all of these are just, like, slightly incoherent, so it's like they could be anywhere, essentially. I don't know what you want from me. Your little sauna thing. That's like walking away. This I would assume is like the turning thing. Like the quick turn and like, whoa. It could also be this too. This could also be that. There's just so many things that could be like several different things at once, and I hate it so much. It's just like, please, just don't. Grab the grill, move it all over there. The little swipe. I imagine this was something I could do, but it's just so much that's just like so the same. God dang it, dude. This is so annoying how everything is like the same. Okay, so she noticed something. Okay, there we go. So we got that going together. Alright, that all is like all happy. That's happiness. So that means it's good. They might all just like make that sound regardless. Could also actually work too, but kind of doubt it. So how many more did I have there? Like 3 extras? I think we're good to reenact, honestly. This is possible.
Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
What? Okay. God dang it, dude. Well, just like there's so many things here. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like how? Like, it's seriously just a little hand gesture.
Here's exactly what happened.
I'm gonna be mad if that's literally just that. That's it.
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
What is it? Do you want me? So go in there. Okay, I get that. Use the in there, I guess. So, is this it? Because I can't tell if that's opening the door or not. I couldn't tell. I hate how just, like, stupidly this is, like, inclined. I hate it so much.
Here's exactly what happened.
I really do. It's still not good. Oh my god.
With bag in hand, she made her way. But how could the victim, who... Simple. Because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster.
Oh my god! See, like, I legitimately hate this because the way that it actually was. Like, I needed that stupid crap. I really did. Yeah, I get it. Come on, please let me retry it. Yeah, I'll give it another shot.
I refuse to give up yet!
It just annoys me, man. Oh my god. It's not, like, really hard, you know? It's hard to figure out what was... Like, everything feels the same here. Legit, everything feels the same. Alright, so I know the majority of this. It's just kind of like, I don't understand how that was a thing. Oh, wait, come on. Was it the inn, or...? It was the inn right there. And then that was apparently to enter the door. Because apparently that was the thing. Okay. And that was the poster. Getting all bloody. So I was like somewhat through it. Get rid of that. Alright, so I need like, I guess girls' locker room? Okay, move it there. Okay, so what was... Is it like turning in then, or what? Like... Oh, like putting things on here. I guess that would be the thing. Yeah, like set that all up. Alright, I think that makes the most sense right there. Alright, and then Mr. Takumon was all like, weh, 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 weh. I'm evil. I don't know why he was like that, but whatever, you know. He'll just do those things. Come on, where are you at? Where's the other... There it is. And this is just kind of like, throw that there. And... Oh wait, no. Wait, do we want this one, or do we want... See, this is the problem of, like leave it there and open the door.
The killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
Yes, he did.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime.
All while not realizing what Chihiro was actually, male. That kind of surprises me, in all honesty.
He wanted to create the illusion that Genocider Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Dick, this is what I'm talking about here. Like, alright, so I guess it's the other way around here, where it's this thing, and then it's the... Because, like, the way I see it, it's like turning the door to, like, throw that all away. But I guess they want a little extra of a thing.
The
so
killer is
that's
you!
The bit right there.
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
Wait! No, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence?
I like how he's the one having the breakdown.
You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That'll revealed itself earlier in the trial. It can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. So I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added. Let's talk a bit about fever time and nega time. What? During a bullet time battle, if you press the R1 button, a fever time will activate, and the tempo will force it to the max. At this point, if you press, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. You press X square, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assaults. This only lasts until your focus gauge runs out. So make the best of it as possible. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got the special time right. So you got to prepare something called nega time that your opponent can use. The opponent activates nega time during the bullet time battle. Your tempo meter will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhyme. Okay. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what to worry about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use nega time. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. I legit like how he's the one that's like against this.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence!
I gotta, really concentrate on this.
I won't listen! False!
Alright. Thankfully, I got the hang of this.
refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False!
I hate this so much.
Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! You're corrupt!
God.
I refuse to vote!
Please be out at negative time?
I refute you!
Final strike, awesome.
Show me some evidence!
This should prove it!
There you go. There's your evidence, buddy.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Yeah, I took a beating over there, in all honesty. I'm kind of surprised I still got an A, though. Like, legit. But I will say, this is probably my favorite trial that I remember from the anime, especially. And I mean, like, in terms of I've seen all the anime trials, quote-unquote. So, I mean, I like this one the most. It has very interesting things, and it still does, obviously, so we'll get up to that right now. Yay.
Bro, what are you saying?
Not for concentration.
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Yep, he's definitely found guilty.
What?
Uh-oh! This time it looks like you got it right again! Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chiro Fujisaki was... Ta-da! Mondo Owada!
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kayotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimura. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he could have killed someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Amondo's taking a vow of silence. So, allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of murder this time is a sad story of two men.
Ha!
Oh, but for anyone who doesn't want to really hear it, you get the O button to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd hear things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury it himself, further and further into that weakness. To take on the fragile form of a petite young girl, he had to choose that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about him, even though you're a boy. But no matter what, how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken deep root inside of him. It was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the Skull, he had no choice but accept this fact. After all, the world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely, hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of embarrassing secrets. Which, of course, include Chiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chiro is actually a boy.
Hey, And
that was something Chiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, and armor would have fallen away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever, even before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are. So maybe I could talk about it later? After I try my best to become strong, then I could tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says Even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought in the front of his mind, he resolved to take action immediately. And so, that day he had made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell the person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from here. And that person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fellow had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. Yet Chiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret.
Uh-huh.
Plus, Mr. Mondo was the very symbol of strong man that Chiro had always aspired to be. Maybe talking to Mondo about it would help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become stronger. That was his inspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he did? What he
Certainly.
done? That could have been a part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he made to Chihiro.
But
how does moving the body keep his secret?
Because
if everyone knew he had been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro? Who he killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because, no matter what, didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it, after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know? Even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong!
It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standards is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? The embarrassing memory? The secrets you didn't want anyone to know?
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join the gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother was Taya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Taya that Mondo even ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of a starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number 1 of the gang, and his number 2, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw at Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Taya, huh? Taya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just gonna, just gone along for the ride. Can someone, like that really be our leader? All that'll do is, make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Taya. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. On the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. During the race tragedy, the kid brother pushed ahead with a reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed onto oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in his gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of that kid who'd bested his big brother. I was gonna lose to his kid brother. He got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm
strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, eightful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At this point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all that guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before.
I
didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say. But after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock, odd lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chiro asked me to stop working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously, Jesus!
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I've been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it couldn't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying what I really am? I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What do you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all of that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you!
You son of a bitch!
You're stronger than Daya! I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, I was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, I was staring at him, down on the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo, you was normally so aggressive, so angry. You hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see. You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't... Shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead and say that again, I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but... Unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The Blacken that disrupts the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous!
Hold on.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Laugh at death and your soul will be forever be at peace. It can't be. Why? Brother. Another murder. And another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course he had to. What a disappointment. Is this the end of the game? Bakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that.
However,
I just don't understand why. Why do you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignore the nighttime rule, too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room. Just when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murderer? He was such a fool. You don't even have the slightest idea I've seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if I'd been at the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have to answer revealed right away at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would have livened things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocider Jack from Taco, you decided to use that to create a fake murder scene?
But
damn, man. If we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Bakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I decided to become blackened, I know who I have to watch out for. But,
correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next?
You
like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. This punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean.
Damn it!
Good grief. I don't understand where I have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. And then I'm going to stand alone as the victor. And then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh, how exciting!
Oh, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I will never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
The name of Tagami family. For which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up!
Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mom for you. I swear whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chiro and Mondo. And I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see. As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away! Ooh, my, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied, because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
And there we go. That's chapter 2, Boy's Life Despair. I gotta say, like, legit, watching the anime and seeing that happen, it was some sad stuff. Like, boyo, it really was. And I was just like, oh my god. It's, like, actually factually sad, too. Oh, Snapple. Cool. But, yeah, that was it. 2 of a kind. Cool. We got it. We got that little thing. But like I said before, this is probably my favorite case, in all honesty. And I really do love how they actually reveal the motive, because if you remember from the first case, they don't actually reveal the motive. And in that case, there's a small little hint of why he actually went to the room, the baseball did, was because he didn't want to be a baseball player anymore. He wanted to be a singer. So that was probably the reason why he actually went to the room in the first place. Which is something that I wish they visited a bit more on, but that was really all they needed for that. Aside from this, I really love how it's just like legitimately Armando just snapped and like he didn't mean to kill him, but it happened anyway. It's really sad. I love it. It's a tragedy. And definitely something that's not really played thereafter, unfortunately. So it's kind of downhill from here. Kinda. I don't want to give y'all hopes up. Or despairs up, I suppose. I really don't know with you people. But, thank you all for watching this nice little bit right here. And I shall see you all next time, okay? Till then, sayonara, bye-bye, everybody.